Okay, this is something we've been working on for quite a while now. The Locofy plugin is at the heart of where all the magic happens. Everyone who uses Locofy has to use the plugin to convert their designs into code. And at the rate we were releasing new features and improvements, the plugin started to get a little overwhelming, especially for new users, where the learning curve was starting to creep up. It was about time we gave it a little facelift. We've made massive UI UX improvements to every part of the Locofy plugin. We've maximized the screen real estate to view your prototype and code in all its glory. If you have a ton of frames in your project, we've also revamped the way you navigate between frames. So it's now super easy to find exactly what you're looking for. We've also introduced a familiar layer panel so you can accurately select the layer that you want to edit. Developers will love this next one. We're adding a way for you to inspect layers. Just like inspecting elements in your browser, you can now view and directly edit the CSS of any layer. Okay, let's jump into a live demo. So as you can see, I've already locofied my design and I'm currently in the new preview mode. We have very clearly separated the purpose of the preview mode and the edit mode. The preview mode is only for exploring the generated code and interacting with the live prototype. The edit mode is for reviewing the decisions that LocoAI has made. So almost immediately, you would have noticed that we've stretched out every panel and made everything full width so that you can see more in the same window. And starting from the toolbar on the very top here, we've added a new way for you to navigate between all your frames. So when I click on the dropdown, a visual gallery of all my locofied frames appear, and I can very easily find the frame that I'm looking for. So if I click on sign up page, it navigates to the sign up page, or I can use the search bar up here to find the frame based on its name. We've also moved the sync button up here so that it's much easier for you to sync to Builder and sync to GitHub. And we've also moved the menu up here for easier access. Your live prototype now takes up more space, allowing you to really get immersed in all the interactions and responsiveness. You can test out input fields, you can hover over elements, you can even click on prototype links, and of course, you can reduce that viewport width to see how everything collapses down into a mobile view. Now onto Locofy's bread and butter. The code panel at the bottom is where you can find all your high-quality, developer-friendly front-end code. We've also made some improvements here so that you can see more code in less space. And you can still view your code in full screen by clicking on this button here and changing your code settings by clicking on the button next to it. So that's preview mode for you. It's where you can play around with your live prototype and see your generated code. Now, what if there's something you've spotted that doesn't look quite right, or you just want to check out what LocoAI has done to optimize your design? That's where edit mode comes into play. You'll see a new left panel that just appeared and a revamped right panel as well. Let's start with the left one. You can view all the decisions that LocoAI has made from a global level. If you guys recall, these used to be on the right panel, but that just made things a tad confusing, so we decoupled that. You can see all the decisions categorized into tagging, design optimizer, code components and props, layer names, actions and interactions. Let's check out the layers that LocoAI has automatically tagged on the right panel over here. Looks good, everything looks good. Let's take a look at this date picker tag over here. I'm going to click on it, and you can see that in the live prototype, the date picker field has been highlighted. So LocoAI has automatically tagged this as a date picker, and what that means is that when I click on the prototype, a date picker popover actually appears and that I can interact with it. Now, if you want to edit a single layer instead, head on over to the Layers tab over here. You'll see a very familiar looking layer panel that shows you the entire structure of the current frame that you're viewing. So in addition to selecting a layer from the live prototype, you can now select it from the layer panel over here. Things can get a bit messy in layers with a lot of child layers, so the layer panel is a great way to ensure that you've accurately selected the right layer to edit. So the card section on the website doesn't look quite right. It looks more like a carousel than a grid. So let me search for it in the layer panel over here. I know it's called Homes, so let me click here. Once you select the layer, you'll see a little indicator over here to show you how many decisions LocoAI has made to this layer. You'll also see that the layer has been highlighted in the prototype, and you can also see the code at the bottom has also been highlighted. Now let's check out the decisions on the right panel. I'll click into the styling and responsiveness section, and it looks like I know where the problem is. It looks like the flex direction is currently horizontal. Let me go ahead and fix that so it wraps instead. There we go. It looks like everything is good. It's wrapping down and it looks more like a grid now. Perfect. Developers have been constantly requesting for this next one. Just like inspecting a web page on your browser, you can now inspect any layer in Locofy to view and edit its CSS. So I'm currently in the Inspect tab over here. I've selected the search section header, and you can see on the right panel, all my CSS code is visible. I can view, edit, and add media queries to it. This provides you with an alternative way to edit layers, and if code is more your cup of tea, then this should be a much faster way to get in those styling changes. We are super proud of our revamped Locofy plugin. With so many quality of life improvements, it has never been faster to locify your designs into code. This is already live, so check it out right now and experience it for yourself. Next up, we're planning to upgrade the Locofy Builder experience, so stay tuned for that. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, we're always open to hearing from you. Join us at our Discord channel or drop us an email at support@locofy.ai.